I think the biggest piece of advice is to look at your own regulation, because a dysregulated adult cannot regulate a dysregulated child. And that is so, so hard for adults to do, because regulation is a skill. And some of us didn't learn that skill in our early life, and we're having to learn it now as adults. So being able to recognize when you have been triggered by a child's behavior, when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you have flipped your lid and you're not able to address a behavior with the child in that moment, and either finding something that will bring you back to a state of calm so that you can address the behavior, or putting your ego aside and asking for someone else to come in and say the exact same thing that you would have said. And that can be really, really challenging and a big shift, because we often feel like we're teaching on an island and we have to finish every battle ourselves. So asking for help and recognizing that it is okay to ask for help is a huge piece of advice.
Yeah, I think the other thing we would offer as advice is for educators and adults to get curious about behavior. And often what we see, especially in the youngest kids in the early years, is that their behavior can look one way, but it's actually communicating to the adults that there's a need that needs to be met. So a child could look like they're being defiant. They might actually be really scared and anxious. A child can look anxious. They might actually be very tired. And so when we see behavior that we know we have to address, whether it is angry or frustrated or anxious or tired, then we know that we have to start asking questions and say, okay, what do we know about this child? Do we know that this is not their usual disposition? Do we know that they had a hard morning at home? Do we know that this stressor and this stressor happened while they're already at school? And so then we can look at, what do we know about the child? What do we know about their situation? What do we not know yet? And then how can we help that child? So we really believe in looking at behavior, especially the really tricky behavior, the really challenging behavior, with curious eyes, so that we can then make a plan with the school team, the home team, even if it's just with our teaching partner in our classrooms or the planning teacher, make a plan for how to support that student, because we have to ask several questions first so that we know how to help that child.